Hey everyone, hope you're all doing good and already comfy. Maybe with some snacks, a Coke, and your girl on your lap. Alright, let's get into it. Way too much has happened lately, so I'll try to keep this short. Let's start with the car from the tuner meet. I just finished those last 2 races I needed.
Car claimed. Now you're all mine, baby.
Andrea Dixon. Got a nice ring to it. Andrea Dixon, my princess from today on. All right, baby, show me what you got. The speed isn't anything crazy, but the handling and brakes are top tier. I'll need to mod her a little first, but that can wait. All right, casino. Tried my luck multiple times over the last few days, but still nothing. At this point, I'm pretty sure Fortuna ditched me. Damn bitch. Get your ass back here. Whatever. Luck was never a reliable factor anyway. That's why you should never build your plans or your future on luck. Alright guys, since we're already on the topic, let's talk about the one thing you can actually rely on. Money. Lots of money. As you can see, even before all the Yusuf Amir stuff, I had my hands full with work. Factories kept calling, deliveries piling up one after another. That's what I call a fruitful business. Haha. Between shipments and keeping the production sites stocked, I took every chance to hook my crew up with fresh cars to chop and flip for profit. Profit is one thing, but this much, never expected it in my life. The cash I put into the salvage yard plus all the upgrades, paid back ages ago, and tripled on top of it. Haha. Alright guys, since we're already at the scrapyard, the second heist is up next. Let's keep it short. Time to start planning. Here comes the next car. Yamal already told me beforehand. If I want it, I can keep it. Let's get into the prep work. Jamal sent me to the police station right in the middle of the city. That's where the whole thing's going down. Right now, one of his boys named King Tiny is supposedly locked up in there. Our job is to get him out, preferably alive. In return, King Tiny hands us the location of the car. I started on a parking lot right across from the station, snapping some photos. First, a helipad with a police chopper. Second, the ventilation system that handles the station's air. For the third shot, I had to move to a different spot. Third, a side entrance. Done and dusted. Now we head back to get to the real work. First task. And I gotta say, this was hands down one of the best preps I've ever had the chance to do. We need a getaway vehicle. Jamal sent me the coordinates of what looked like some gang main base. No idea if it was really a gang. Anyway, tons of guys and girls, all armed to the teeth. The second they spotted me, they opened fire, no choice. I shot back and took them out one by one. After I cleared the place of all the vermin, I got to pick one of their many cars. And trust me, it wasn't an easy decision. So many options and every single one already tricked out with high-end mods. Alright, you're gonna be my warhorse now. Let's get the hell out of here. On the way, the car fanatics chased me down and it turned into another shootout. But that wasn't stopping me. Full throttle, peel out, people. I got to choose where to park the getaway vehicle myself. Done. Taser, Jamal said. Why? So we don't hurt anyone unnecessarily. Or worse. Cops are full of corruption, racists, and egomaniacs with god complexes. But since we can't pick out the good ones from the bad ones, we just spare them all. Let's go. Jamal gave me the coordinates to a vehicle belonging to some state security company. The taser we need is supposed to be in the trunk. The second I pop the trunk, the car's alarm goes off. Not even 5 seconds later, company guys roll up and jump me. They were definitely waiting for me. Whatever, I grab my ride and peel the fuck out. Instead of the taser, Jamal wants me to grab some unregistered weapons and stash them near the police station. Let's go. A friend of Jamal hid the guns for us at the local arms dealer. We just need to pick them up. Done and dusted. Finally, I hid the weapons close to the side entrance. Spots easy to reach. Onward. All right, optional, but you never know. We're grabbing masks from the dealer of our choice, obviously. All right, let's move on to the main tasks. Jamal wants me to get my hands on a police helicopter. With that, we should be able to land on the police station unnoticed. First thing, heading to a company premises. I need to hack a signal box there that broadcasts to Weasel News Live. Done. Some criminal, no idea who, is currently being airlifted to the hospital in a police chopper for surgery. That's my window. Let's roll. Got to the hospital and tried to sneak up to the roof where the chopper was parked. No chance. The cops opened fire immediately. Whatever. No way around it. Gotta get my hands dirty. Under fire from all sides, I still managed to climb into the helicopter. Thank God the engine was already running and I could lift off right away. Gone from the scene in seconds. Jamal sent me the coordinates where to stash the bird, and then I headed back to HQ. Alright guys, next up, we need tactical gear plus gas grenades. The one for staying undetected and getting a bit of bullet resistance, the other to take the cops out non-lethally. Let's go. Jamal hit me up and gave me the location of a secret IAA warehouse. The gear we need is supposed to be inside. We just didn't pay for it. On the way, he warned me there was a bunch of opportunists already there trying to snatch the equipment for themselves. They weren't going to hand it over willingly. Perfect. My trigger finger's been twitching like crazy all morning anyway. I stepped into the warehouse, searched the vehicles, found the right one, took it, and drove straight back to HQ. Alright, last but not least, optional, but it'll make everything way easier for us. I need to head to a police depot and destroy the gear there. Mainly gas masks. And yeah, expect resistance. Let's roll, people. I dealt with the guards outside, walked right into the building. The ones inside weren't any trouble either. Blew the gear to hell and grabbed a list of upcoming equipment deliveries. There were still 3 deliveries en route. The problem? I only had a 10-minute window to destroy them all. I decided to take one of the guards' vehicles, clearly modified, armored, and way faster than Big Mama. I blew up the other 3 deliveries, and that's it. Now on to the heist. Yo everyone, let's make this quick and to the point. I've got a mountain of work waiting. Let's go. Alright, geared up, I headed straight to our parked chopper. Landed unnoticed on the roof of the police station, zapped one cop with the taser, and started dropping gas grenades into the ventilation system. Didn't take long for the gas to kick in. The entire police station was filled with it. On my way down, unconscious cops were sprawled everywhere. A few had gas masks on and immediately opened fire on me. The taser took care of them. I grabbed the cell keys and headed down to the basement where the cells were. I still remembered the way from when we were here for Madrazo. Down there, I hacked the computer and opened the electronic lock. Got to the cells. Popped King Tiny's door. But right away, incoming cops lit me up. We bolted together through the side exit. I'd stashed the weapons under the trash there. Blew the gate. Jumped into the getaway car I'd parked earlier. King Tiny was breathing heavy. We peeled out. I dropped him at the airport. He hopped in a chopper and flew off. After that, Jamal got the coordinates from King Tiny, the car that was payment for the escape. I headed over and spotted a gang meeting in progress. I opened fire and we got into a heavy shootout. So this is the promised ride. Damn, King Tiny, you weren't kidding at all. I grabbed the pearl and peeled out. This thing flew like a fucking rocket, haha. Brought it straight back to HQ. Mission accomplished. Then I claimed the car for myself right away. Alright friends, that was the second heist, but I'm not done yet. Malk hit me up out of nowhere saying he's got a new way for me to move product direct. He's got buyers spread across the whole state who'll take my stuff right away. So I decided to grab some new clothes, something a bit more low-key and discreet. After that, I wanted to grab a suitable ride, something that fits, that I could destroy in a pinch, and that couldn't be traced back to me. For a while, I watched this car that belonged to some rich lady. She parked it every day at the same time in the same spot. Never locked it, always left the key in the ignition. That was my moment. No idea if she just had that "I can afford a new one" mindset, or if it's a full-time rich people problem where they don't worry about anything anywhere. Whatever, not my problem. Now I've got a new car that's completely disposable in an emergency. I took the car to one of the mechanic shops Malk recommended for these kinds of jobs. Wasn't cheap, but the guy did some serious work on the hardware, body mods, plate swap, and a slight color change. Now it's way harder to recognize and perfect if I ever need to disappear in a hurry. I was actually planning to go see Malk's people, but something came up. Lester suddenly hit me up out of nowhere and gave me coordinates I needed to head to right away. All right, what's coming now? I got to the spot. It was a garage with a parked van.
Hello
As I
there.
approached, the back doors opened. I parked, got out, and walked up to the van. Inside, an old guy was sitting on a pile of weapon crates and gear. He greeted me and offered to let me take a closer look at his wares. All right, he was selling different body armor at a way lower price. Explosives too, he had those in stock. And then, holy mother of God in heaven, RPG-7 with rounds, 50 cal anti-material precision rifle, some high-tech weapons that looked like toys but cost 4 times what my apartment did, and an old rifle that felt straight out of the Stone Age, haha. God damn, this was stuff I'd never get my hands on otherwise. No wonder Lester tipped me off. All right, prices were insane, but I had way too much cash lying around anyway, so I decided to buy most of it, including the toy-looking weapons. All right, that's enough of that. The RPG-7 will definitely come in handy at some point, but the toy-looking weapons? Well, who knows? Maybe I'll have kids one day. Haha. I left the spot and headed to the coordinates of the first dealer, somewhere in the industrial area. The next one's somewhere in the hills behind Alamo Sea. And the last one's in an apartment complex somewhere near Paleto Bay. All right, friends, that's it for today. Money's falling from the sky right now, and I really can't complain. How about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I wish you all a good and blessed time. Stay healthy, stay in the love of our Lord, grow and prosper. Amen.